as you can tell by both our shirts, that the Miami Dolphins are going to start us out here with Hyped Up because, my goodness, if you missed it, someone was playing Madden at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. The Miami Dolphins pummeled the Denver Broncos into the ground by a score of 70-20. They scored 10 touchdowns. That's right, 10. Oh my goodness, okay, all right. So here's the thing. Ready? Ooh, oh my gosh. All right, hang on. There's so many things. Listen, part of me still can't believe it. I've never seen this. I mean, we as football fans have not seen a performance like this from a team. Just an absolute spanking and a half like we saw at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. And here are the players here. Because Devon Achane, in his, I'm going to call it his first NFL game. He played like 10% of the snaps in the Patriots game in week 2. But in his first NFL game, 18 carries for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. 4 catches on 4 targets for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's right, those receiving touchdowns were thrown right-handed, just as a little anecdote right there we want to talk about from our left-handed quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. He's incredible, by the way. 51.3 fantasy points for Devon Achane. If anyone had him in their starting lineup, congratulations. I would be so shocked to hear if anyone... if you had Devon Achane in your starting lineup, let us know, because you nailed it. Way to go. Like, this was just unbelievable. 51.3 fantasy points for Devon Achane. I mean, wow. So one guy had a great game, huh? No, let's look at his running mate, Raheem Mostert. 13 carries for 82 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 7 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, and that totaled out to 45.2 fantasy points. What? What are we doing here?
It's insane. You've listed 2 players.
There's 2 more.
That's it.
There's 2 more to talk about from this Dolphins team. It's unbelievable. I've never seen. Listen, I'm not anywhere taking away from the offensive masterclass and just beatdown that happened. The Broncos are bad. The Broncos are a bad team.
Let's acknowledge this for a moment, because obviously the Dolphins' offense is insanely high powered. I mean, we've been talking since last year about full utilization. What's the ceiling? Apparently the ceiling is more than 70 points because they decided to take a knee instead of go for the record. But let's just acknowledge how bad the Broncos are as well. The Dolphins will not do this to the Bills next week.
No.
The Broncos, holy cow.
Yeah.
I cannot believe, let's get back to the good stuff with the Dolphins in a second here, but I cannot believe that Vance Joseph is still hired. He is still staffed on the Broncos after letting a team put 70 points, 10 offensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Cowboys in week 1 against the Giants where it was just special teams and defense doing everything. That is insane. The Broncos, Russell Wilson has played himself out of the Hall of Fame. No doubt. No question in my mind.
Oh, my gosh.
No question.
Yeah,
he was right there on the border as being like, he's likely a Hall of Famer. And now it is a complete disaster.
Yeah.
He will go down. This is his legacy now. This is his legacy. What he's done here in Denver.
Yeah. This is not anywhere close to what we as football fans, as fantasy managers, as I'm sure Broncos fans hoped would happen with this Sean Payton coming in. He's going to fix Russ, and this team is going to challenge for the division, and this team is going to be great. No, No, it's not. You just got 70
No.
points dropped on your head. This is unbelievable. Let's go to Tua Tagovailoa. 23 for 26 for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. He started the game 17 for 17 straight completions to start this game. Unbelievable. 36.36 fantasy points for Tua Tagovailoa. Congratulations if you had him in your lineup there. And then the cheetah. Tyreek Hill, 30.7 fantasy points, 9 catches on 11 targets for 157 yards and a touchdown. I almost couldn't believe how easy the first drive of the game went. I almost couldn't believe it. It was 2 plays.
Oh my gosh. Second play.
Let's hand it off to Mostert, and then it's, oh my gosh, how does Tyreek Hill have open space for 15 yards around him in any direction? Like, what is going? Like,
You couldn't even see a defender on the screen.
Yeah, I could not believe it. Just as Dolphins fans, my goodness, what a freaking game!
It's unreal. It is literally unreal. Noah, you were here just a couple weeks ago to watch the Dolphins and Chargers with me here in SoFi, and we, per usual, because this is our third game together that we went to SoFi, we have this tradition where we play Madden, and we try to win a Super Bowl before we watch the actual football game.
Yeah.
I don't recall if you and I ever put up 70 points in Madden.
Nope.
I don't think we did that just a couple weeks ago. This is unreal.
Yeah.
This is unreal. One thing here, because we didn't get to do waiver wires for this episode. Obviously, we're gonna keep calling him A-Chain, right? We're gonna keep calling him A-Chain.
We'll get out ahead of it here. Devon A-Chain has now come out and said he would prefer for the pronunciation of his name to be Devon A-Chan. So instead of like A-Chain, yes, we will still call him A-Chain because I'm going to be attempting to call him A-Chan, but it is going to take some time for me to definitely get into that. But Devon A-Chan, I'll try first there. There you go, yeah.
We'll do our best here because we got to know his name. We have to learn his name because, just for fun, he's already 10th in rushing yards on the season of all running backs. You have to start him. You have to start him after this game.
Yeah.
I don't care who your other running backs are. Maybe you put him as flex at worst, but you have to start him, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to put this up again. Maybe, but I mean, you have to. You have to start him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no question.
Yeah, yes, you do. If he's on your team, you start him until he either plays his way out of needing to stay in your lineup, or I don't know what to tell you. What could be the situation? I mean, if you're picking him up off the waiver wire, odds are maybe you have 2 super solid guys, and maybe he's a flex consideration. And if you've got somebody who's maybe it's a matchup dependent play, but he is a threat to. Listen, so here's where I'm predicting is how it's going to play out in the future. Obviously, Savon Ahmed did not play, and I believe A-Chain probably jumped him in the depth chart. I think. I don't know for sure.
There's a question?
I don't know how we do this here. I'm not a GM. I'm not a coach. I don't know what their minds go through. He should be the RB2 right now on the Miami Dolphins. We have seen that Savon Ahmed, when he was healthy in the Patriots game and in week 1, he was getting run. He was getting somewhere between 8 to 10 touches a game, whatever it was, behind Raheem Mostert. I believe this will truly turn into and mold into, while it is Raheem Mostert and Devon A-Chan, that it will be I think it will be a 50-50 split. I think each of these guys will see between 10 and 15 touches a game. And either of them is a threat to house any carry or reception they have. Either one. They are both lightning quick. We saw it. It's that's how it goes. What's gonna throw a wrench in the plan, and I don't know when this happens, is when Jeff Wilson returns from IR. I don't know what happens then, and that's something we're gonna have to discuss when it happens. He is eligible to be back week 5 if he is healthy. I would love it if they were like, "Hey, dude, thanks for sitting out 4 games. Pack your bags, we're trading you," or whatever it is. But like,
yeah.
I don't know what happens then. But for now, Devon Achane at least needs to be a flex play for you in your fantasy lineups if you have him. And
yeah.
Or at the very, I'll say this, at the very least, a consideration, strong consideration each week. It should be every week if you have him on your team. It should be, okay, should I go HN or should I go this guy? He should be the play. This week against the Bills, it's going to be a harder matchup. It's not going to be the Denver Broncos. So maybe you're looking, okay, do I go Puka Nacua or do I go Devon Achane? I don't know. Like, that's something you need to probably make your decision on. It's probably a hard decision you're going to have to make. If it's matchup dependent and whatever, maybe you go Puka. I'm not sure. But all of that being said, I am so serious when I say this. And Wes, when we were, okay, I promise this is the end of us being Dolphins fans right here.
All right, yeah, I'm ready.
Wes, when we were at SoFi Stadium for week 1, and during the national anthem, we were up in the top section, and the anthem is going, and I'm looking, looking down to our sideline, and I just became, I don't know what it was. I became overwhelmed with like emotion, and my eyes started to tear up because I was looking down and I was just looking at this line, and it was Mike McDaniel and Tua and Xavier Howard and Tyreek Hill and Alec Ingold, and those are the captains right there, and they were about to go out, and for some reason it just felt different. It just felt different, and I don't know what it was, but it is very clear this is different this year. And I'm being so serious when I say this. The Miami Dolphins will be playing for a shot to play in Vegas in February. The Miami Dolphins will be in the AFC Championship this year. And I'm willing to say the Miami Dolphins will be in the Super Bowl this year. I'm so serious. I'm so serious when I say it. It is this team.
Yeah.
The defense has gotten better every single week. It was a little rough in week 1. It was better in week 2, and in week 3 it was fantastic. This defense looked so good. The offense showed us they can do it through the air in week 1. Showed us they can do it on the ground in week 2, and then just laid the mother load down in week 3. 750 something total yards of offense, and it wasn't like Tua threw for 550 yards. No, it was like 350 yards each in the air and on the ground.
Yeah.
This Miami team is special. This Miami team is very special.
There should be one last thing, and it's for fantasy, and then we'll move on to the rest of our show.
Yeah.
Tua should be your starting quarterback in fantasy. I don't know if there was ever any question after week 2 with the Patriots and Belichick's defensive mind. I passed by a Patriots fan, a friend of mine. I was like, you should feel really good about your defense.
Yeah.
Because you held the Dolphins to 20-something points. And then the next week they do this. But Tua should be your starting quarterback. He should be your starting quarterback. I don't care. I mean, the only other quarterbacks I think that if you happen to have Patrick Mahomes and Tua or Josh Allen and Tua, then Tua needs to be your starting quarterback over anybody in the NFL. Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, 100%. I'll revisit something real quick and then we'll move on here because we're going to talk about this guy in just a minute or two. Wes, we had a debate about Justin Herbert this year.
Yeah.
And we talked about where the draft pick comparison between taking Justin Herbert in the 5th round and taking Tua in the 9th round and what you could do with your teams there. And I was pretty adamant about they won't have near the same stat line. They're not going to be Herbert will certainly be better than Tua. I'm getting proved wrong by my own QB right now, dude. And I'm so I've never been so happy to be wrong about something in my life. I've never been so happy. And listen, don't get me wrong. The top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy right now are Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert, and Tua Tagovailoa. Those are the 3 guys at the top right now. Things will probably even out for the big names as we get further into the season. Maybe they won't. We don't know. But these Tua and Herbert, pick number 5 and pick number 6 in the 20. What were we at?
2020.
Is it 2020 in the 2020 draft?
Yep.
Those 2 dudes are balling. As fantasy quarterbacks, those 2 dudes are balling.
Yeah.